everybody. We are at the end of February, and February is also known as Black History Month. So I have a really important book I wanted to read to you guys today that I think you're really going to enjoy. It is called Going Down Home with Daddy, and it is written by Kelly Starling Lyons and illustrated by Daniel Minter. And you'll notice that this book has a silver medal on it because it won the Caldecott Honor Award. Now, I did mention the Caldecott Award in the past, definitely. It is a very well-known book award that is given out every year to children's books in honor of their great illustrations. Okay, now there is another award that's for great writing. That's called the Newbery Medal. This one, however, the Caldecott, is only for the pictures. So in 2019, which is when this book was written, this book was considered to have some of the best illustrations in children's literature, and it won the silver medal. Silver medal is like a runner-up. Okay, there is a gold medal, that's like the top prize, and then they usually honor about 3 or 4 runner-ups, and they get the silver medal. Okay, so while I read this book, definitely pay attention to the excellent drawings because they won a great award. And this book is all about an African-American family that every year travels to their grandmother's house in order to have a family reunion. And they have a huge, huge family that gets together. They sing songs, they eat together, they play games, and we really get a sense of their family's traditions. And a lot of us with our families, maybe we have similar traditions as well. So as I read this book, I want you to notice maybe some of the similarities you might find between your family and the family in this book. But you'll also see that their experience is a uniquely African-American experience. Okay, so this is Going Down Home with Daddy. On reunion morning, we rise before the sun. Daddy hums as he packs our car with suitcases and a cooler full of snacks. He says there's nothing like going down home. We leave when the sky is dark with sleep. Sis close her eyes, but mine stay wide open. I watch as we drive from city streets to flowing highways under a sweep of sparkling stars. Lil Allen, Mama says after a while, you better catch some Z's while you can. I try to rest, but I can't stop smiling. Soon I'll get to see my great-grandma Granny and hang out with all of my cousins. But when I look at my hands, empty as the road in front of us, my grin fades. The anniversary celebration. I bet everyone will have something to share except for me. I doze off in a cloud of worry and wake to sunbeams tickling my face. I squint and see a familiar John Deere tractor store and a gray silo standing at attention. We're almost there. Sis and I sit up straight as pines when we see Granny's wood frame house. She's right where we left her after last year's reunion, scattering corn for her chickens like tiny bits of gold. There she is, Sis shouts. Granny spreads her arms wide and wraps us both inside. My, she says, and showers our cheeks with peppermint kisses. I missed you so. All afternoon, a parade of family comes home. Grandma Loretta and Grandpa James, aunts and uncles, and more cousins than I can count. Got a head just like your daddy, Uncle Jay teases me. Daddy's eyes twinkle. Now I know you're not talking about heads. Can't take them anywhere, Grandma Loretta says, laughing. While the grown-ups catch up, we cousins run to the fence to visit Granny's cows and goats. You doing something for the celebration? Isaiah asks Sis. I'm singing Granny's favorite song, His Eye is on the Sparrow, she says. How about you? I'm reading Mother to Son by Langston Hughes. I made a scrapbook in Granny's favorite color, blue, Devin says. You got something, Lil Allen? I kick a stone and my eyes start to burn. Ready for a tractor ride? Sis asks, saving me from having to answer. All right, so For their celebration, this is a big anniversary their family is having, and each of the children are going to do something for their grandmother. Now, one child says she's going to sing a song, one is going to read a poem by Langston Hughes. Langston Hughes is a very, very famous African-American poet. But little Alan, who's the main character, he right now has nothing, and he's very worried about that. I swallow hard and climb into the trailer with Sis and Mama. I lean against the hay as Daddy drives us past the smokehouse and fishing ponds and rumbles by a field dotted with puffs of white. Cotton has been on this land a long time, just like us, Daddy says. Pa would drive your Uncle Jay and me on a tractor just like this one. Look to your left, Pa would say. Look to your right. The land just seemed to go on forever. Everything you see, Pa's told us, is ours. I think about what Daddy said and sit up tall. Pa is gone, but this is our time to come together and remember. Daddy's words make me want to share more than ever. When the ride stops, I ask him what to do. Think with your heart, little Alan, Daddy says. That's what Pa always told me. Just then we hear Granny. Come on and get this food while it's hot, she calls from the porch. We dash inside. The dining room overflows with love-made dishes. Smoked turkey, collards, mac and cheese, okra and tomatoes, and biscuits oozing with mayhaw jelly, just the way Daddy likes. Hand in hand, we create a ring inside the house Pa built for Granny. Heart to heart, we share what we're thankful for. Nothing is more important than family, Granny says, tearing up as she looks at every face. Amens all around. On Sunday, I feel sick. Not a fever and sneezing sick, but I wish I had more time sick. The celebration starts at dusk. Get a move on, little Alan, Grandma Loretta says. You know Granny doesn't play. Growing up, we never missed a service. At church, Daddy points to the spot where he and Uncle Jay performed a duet on trombone and trumpet. My hands were shaking so much I could barely play, Daddy says. But then I saw Granny smiling. My jitters went away. I wonder if looking at Granny will help me. But when our eyes meet, all I can think about is being the only kid with nothing to say. After service, we head back to Granny's and change into our reunion t-shirts. Generations of our family smile from every wall. Mama, Sis, and I peer at black and white pictures of Pa and Granny. Their eyes, brave and bold, remind me of my daddy's. You have their eyes too, Mama says. That's when it comes to me. I think about everything I see when I'm here. I think about the tractor ride and Daddy's stories. I think about I think about walking in Pa and Granny's footsteps, in those of our people and Native people long ago. I think and collect treasures from our land. I lift my head to the sun. Just before satin night falls, we sit outside on porch steps and metal lawn chairs. It's celebration time. Our people were stolen from Africa and shipped to this continent in chains, Daddy says, but no one could lock away their dreams. They dreamed on this land during slavery. They dreamed on this land as they made a way out of no way and fought Jim Crow. 75 years ago, a farmer and a teacher bought this land. Daddy gazes at Granny. And look at us now. One after another, cousins offer their tributes. Sis's song makes Granny's eyes shine. Isaiah's poem gets everyone nodding. Then I step forward. I feel like a spotlight is blazing just on me. I look down and say nothing. It's okay, little Alan, Sis whispers. I lift my head and see gleaming smiles. I try again. Cotton for the quilts Granny made to keep her children warm, I say, holding a white cloud in my fingers. A pecan for the trees Pa planted and all of the kids love to climb. I pinch dirt and let it rain to the ground. And earth for land that's ours as far as we can see. Fireflies wink and whirl in a carnival around us. That's all right, I hear Granny say. Daddy flashes a thumbs up. I grin up at the moon. It glows back at me. We're a mighty family, Daddy booms. Mighty, we roar back. Then we try to make the night stretch on forever. As grown-ups slap cards and checkers against tables, we cousins dig through old trunks and laugh until our hearts explode with joy. Too soon our goodbye morning comes. We hug all the way to the door. Then we climb into our car and watch Granny and her house shrink and disappear. When we go down home with Daddy, everything we see holds a piece of him and us. We head up the highway thinking about family and dreaming about next year. All right, friends, so that was Going Down Home with Daddy. And I think that's just such a nice story about family, okay? And even though our families might be different from each other, we might have different traditions, we're still all families, and there are many, many similarities I think that you could find between your family and the family in this story. All right, friends, have a great week.